My background is in psychology, so I have a bachelor's in psychology. I went on to get my master's in applied behavior analysis, and during my time in my master's program, I worked for a center-based program for children with autism, and that consisted of children ages from as young as 18 months to 13 years old. And so I do have a broad range of experience with kiddos, ages, and different ends of the spectrum. Some of them, are very significantly delayed, but then a lot of kids are very similar to the kids we have at our school. They have executive functioning deficits, self-regulation, impulse control deficits. So I have a lot of experience with those type of learners as well, and just creating their programming and supporting them. So I first became interested when I started working on one-on-one with these kids and just realizing that what we do works. The ABA and the therapy that we utilize, it really works for these kids, and you get to see the progress that they make. And as cliche as it sounds, you get to make a difference in these kids' lives, and it's on such a different level than any other profession. One of my most difficult cases has been a little boy who came to us. He didn't talk. He really would only cry, hit himself in the head, tantrum, hit his mom, all these maladaptive behaviors. Really couldn't function in any other type of setting except for in his home. And our company almost gave up on him because they didn't think we were able to support this type of kid. And I really pushed for it. I was like, I want this kid. I really see a light in him that we could really change his life. And and we did. And he was honestly the most difficult case we've had, and it just has been, it's just miraculous to see the other side of it. So the behavior specialist plays a very integral role in the classroom setting. They work very closely with the teacher in creating the proper environment for our kids to learn at an optimal level. Really having that behavior piece and the academic piece come together in one classroom is very special, and I don't think that is something that happens often. So that having that behavior specialist and that extra support in the classroom is really valuable. So the behavior specialist role on the playground is really special too, because that's where we really get to dive into kind of the social skills. So we get to really make sure our kids are connecting with their friends and making sure they're using positive talk rather than the rude talk. We get to make sure they're having fun, which is a big priority. And so that's just a really fun time for us to get to really dive into those deeper level skills and more of that social emotional curriculum, and get to apply it in more of a natural setting rather than a classroom setting. 5 words I would use to describe myself would be patient. You definitely need a lot of patience for this job, not only with our kids and implementing strategies, but also working with your team members and teachers and parents as well. I would say I'm very diligent, so I definitely work hard and want to make sure that our kids succeed. I'm passionate, so I absolutely love this job and want to make sure our kids succeed and want to make sure that they're getting the best care possible. I'm fun. So I like to be really silly with the kids and sometimes get on their level and just make sure that they feel comfortable, and I'm not afraid to get on the floor with them and play. And lastly, I would describe myself as thoughtful. I definitely like to think things through and make sure that all the details are tied up, and definitely want to make sure what we're doing is very meaningful and powerful for the kids. So in the moment of a really big, what we could call meltdown or a tantrum, amazingly enough, I feel very calm. I don't feel flustered. I really, I feel for the kid, because usually we know why You know, as a behavior analyst, we look at the function of behavior. We look at the reason why this kid is behaving a certain way. And so usually if you know why, you can take steps to alleviate that situation. And whether that means giving them a hug, or just if they just need a break, or you know, breaking down the task at hand if it's too hard for them, or if they want a certain thing, letting them know, you know, they can have it later. So it really, in the moment for me, I go into like, I just zero in on the kid and I'm like, how are we gonna fix this? You know, I really don't think about other outside influences. It's just like, all right, how are we gonna get this kid to kind of de-escalate and start to get to that point of regulation again? Positive reinforcement is huge. I mean, that's obviously number one. We definitely want to make sure this, our kids are receiving the feedback that they're doing a good job, and you know, these are the behaviors that we want to see, because if we, you know, reinforce those behaviors, they're going to happen more often. And so we definitely, my interventions definitely focus more on the positive as well. So, and I really like, as far as positive reinforcement goes, you know, really specific praise. So not just good job, not just, hey, awesome. You definitely want to tell them, hey, you know what, you did an awesome job working through that problem. I know it was really hard, but you know, you did it. So just really making sure they know exactly what they're getting praised for.